Speaking of streamers, and just doing very, very well for themselves, DrLupo, Timthetatman, and Lirik have all signed exclusive contracts with Twitch. The three of them boast a combined 10.35 million followers on Twitch. There hasn't been an official statement yet on the amount of money of these deals, which was the same with Ninja and Shroud when they went to Mixer, but it's expected that these were all multi-million-dollar contracts, just like Shroud and Ninja were. I think that whenever Ninja happened, it was expected it was like something like 30 million. I think we talked about, which is that's bonkers. Anyway, it's beginning to get really, really interesting in my mind. But I think the really, really cool thing for me is that this is further establishing streaming and content creation as a profession to me, right? Like anytime like anything's getting more mainstream, I think that that means like more of the general public are thinking that it's okay and accepted, and it's not like looked down upon as crazy. And I think that that's generally a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Why? I'm not crazy about these streamers are fine. And my personal opinion aside, I feel like Twitch really dropped the ball when they let Shroud and Ninja fall through their fingertips. And I think they're going to be paying for it for a long time. This is probably their answer. This is obviously their answer to it, to try and recoup what they can, because I don't think they really were too worried about their longevity when Ninja left, but I think Shroud going too. I think that really kind of tipped the scales in everybody else's favor to go out there and maybe start put money into your own streaming service, that kind of thing, that you can compete against Twitch a little bit more than you thought you could. You can get these big names to come over.
As long as you have the capital, yeah.
I think it's just, like you said, their way of holding on to them. But I wanted to make a point about the Dr. Disrespect thing, but it had too much to do with this topic, so I just held off. But you said just with these exclusive, like, will we see television move over? Will we see them on television? And I think just like as long as there's these contracts that are this new thing that's happening with these streamers, I don't think you could ever. I mean, maybe unless unless you start seeing places like NBC like buy exclusive, like could you see that happening? Because they have their own, like online apps, right, that they can run programs on. So, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be cable television, but I think, this contract thing is, there's only so many like big names in the streaming industry, right? Like, there's the elite, and then there's like just a mass of just kind of like we're hitting 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and then just an ocean of.
That's kind of what I wanted to. That's actually kind of like, I'm glad you brought that up. That was like the next point that I wanted to talk about, and it's like, how do these deals start affecting smaller streamers, and do they affect them at all? I think, in my perspective, I think on the one hand, they give somebody that's smaller like something even more concrete to work towards. So I guess if you're really, really driven and you have talent, like it's something that, like if you really, really get big, you might get like an exclusive contract and make a ton of money. So that's good. I think it also says that streaming isn't going anywhere. I don't think that we ever thought that it was, but I think now we definitely know that it's not. But on like the other hand, I feel like it just shows how important certain people are to the community, and how unimportant just millions and millions of people are to their platforms. Like I just feel like Twitch could care less about probably like 98-99% of their streamers when it comes to like an actual numbers revenue game.
I have a few points. One, I think the contracts are a really good thing, because that gives you, as like a creator and like a streamer, you have security. Like, you're locked in. Like, you can't just be you know what I mean? Like, you have some, just like a sports I mean, I don't know the exact terminology in the contracts, obviously, but I'm assuming they're guaranteed so much money, pending, assuming that they continue to stream and whatever. But you're locked in. Like you can't just like get fucked. You know what I mean? Tomorrow everybody can't be like, oh, I don't like this guy anymore. But you're you know what I mean? You're locked into making whatever amount of money, barring like certain circumstances.
I think there would have to be, not to interrupt you, I know you have more points, but I think there would have to be a guarantee like that, right? Because you would hate to get paid and move over to a platform. Oh no, like you breached the contract, your followers are too low, and we're taking your contract away again. Like nobody would ever sign that.
Right. So there has to be some security features that are very good for the streamer in these contracts, which is good because now you have your future. You have some things that you can count on. You have some security that you don't have to like worry every day about. Oh, like if something goes wrong, this livelihood could be gone. Like you have a little bit more of a concrete foundation going forward, which I think is good. And I don't know if this is going to happen, but it's just a thought that I'm having with the contract thing. Maybe if like these platforms get into this big war about having viewers, maybe the smaller streamers that have 2,000 viewers or whatever, maybe they get contracts too. Obviously, they're not insane contracts; they're smaller contracts, but they can get locked in because okay, like you want like it's gonna turn into a battle of like who has the most active viewers. You know what I mean? Like as a metric, like that's going to be one of the metrics. Just like monthly active users is a big metric for, like big AAA companies. It's like how many people are playing your game every month.
I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but like you can't pay everyone.
No, and I agree with that. I'm just saying, like, if there's going to be, I think there's going to end up being a certain threshold where, like, you know what I mean? If you get 2,000 viewers consistently or whatever, 5,000, whatever the number is, I don't know what the number is going to be, but if Twitch is trying to make their numbers look better than Mixer, there's going to be people that they want to not lose no matter what. And they're going to be willing to give them some amount of money. It's not going to be $30 million like Ninja or one of the big guys, but they might, they might lock into like a $20,000 a year contract or something, but like that's guaranteed money for the streamer on top of what they get in donations and whatnot. So that could end up being a huge deal, especially if they're fighting for viewers. Like okay, is it worth $20,000 to have, an extra $500,000 views for the year? It may be.
Do you see like people starting to create teams, and not just teams, but like, hear me out here, like we have streaming segmenting shows now, like in ways that we haven't had in a long time. Like we just talked about with like certain shows only being available on Disney Plus, like The Mandalorian, which I'm pissed because I can't watch it. But like, what if in the near future, or 10 years or 15 years, we see people that they say, okay, we have 50 streamers on our payroll. We have 5 that are like really, really popular, 10 that are like pretty popular, and the other guys are like pretty good, but no one really knows them. But if you want to watch them, you need to pay us a monthly sub to like the overall team company organization. And then you get access to all of them. Ninja streams 4 to 8 Monday to Wednesday. I don't know. I'm just saying that it's kind of light on the hours, but like I could see something happening. I don't know if I want that to happen, but I could see that happen.
But that's absolutely a possibility for sure.
I think that the whole thing's just messy. Like, what happens, like, in terms of like the competition within the platform? Like, where does that go? When there's like contracts and stuff involved, like I could see like, like Twitch drama and all that shit's already hot on YouTube. You start seeing people fighting for fucking contracts and shit.
Yep. Well, then you have bad blood. Like, oh, this guy's like fucking like trying to steal my views. Like he's like, all over me on Twitter, and he's
look at what's going on with Asmon,
playing the same game as me or whatever.
With Asmon and that, what's going on with that, Dave? Who's that other guy? Basically, Asmon was under the impression that this guy was like making content at Asmon's, like at the cost of Asmon, like bad mouthing him, stream sniping him. I don't know what the thing is. I'm not accusing him of doing one thing or the other, but Asmon eventually just went to Twitch and then got him banned on Twitch for like harassing him or something.
Okay.
And then
And
there was a lot of people who came to his defense who are still fans of Osmonds. Like, that was way too far, dude. Like, you're like literally messing around with his livelihood because you couldn't take a joke, you know, or something. And then all I'm saying is, like, you know, I'm getting a little off topic, but I think that just going to create a highly toxic environment.
Well,
you know?
you said it. It kind of builds this hierarchy of, you know, who are the people we care about and who are the people we really don't care about as much at all. And if we're going to make Asmongold happy, because, you know, there's multiple times he's had 40, 50,000 plus viewers at a time, right, when like WoW Classic came out and stuff, we're going to keep him happy. So like Mixer doesn't come in next month to be like, hey, here's $100,000. Like, why don't you just bring your community over here, like, for the year? That
Right.
I think you'll enjoy it, and we'll protect you.
And like, I get your concerns, but like, in every other facet of life, isn't this true though?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
there's always people that, like, you know what I mean? Like
Dog eat dog, man.
the NFL, like, obviously care about Tom Brady more than they care about whatever, some other
Oh,
asshole.
Anybody
I'm
really?
just saying, like, in any facet of life, that's true. So like, why wouldn't it be? You know what I mean? That's just how it is. Like,
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I see happening, I think what Josh was talking about is like with the drama is, you know, these are young kids, and like these aren't like professional people that are like really good at handling press and like holding back like their tongues. Like, these are people that like literally speak to people, like a large audience, for a living, and they do it like very candidly.
Yeah.
And you see like what happens with rookie receivers and things in the NFL, like getting hotheads and like wanting to get out of their contracts, and like I see that happening a lot in the near future with Twitch.